Hey guys, hello and welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar and today we're gonna be discussing punch-through. What it is, what it does, how it functions, and how it should function. But first things first, we should consult the wiki and see precisely what it has to say. Punch-through is a mechanic that allows weapons to shoot through objects, cover, and even enemies. Punch-through is typically bestowed through mods, though certain weapons have innate punch-through values. For example, the Lanka. Mechanics: punch-through distance is the maximum depth of material, object or enemy that a projectile can penetrate. This value is not diminished as the projectile passes through material. It is a simple yes or no check if the projectile can pierce the target with its current trajectory. In essence, if a given value of punch-through can pierce one of a given enemy at its thickest point, it will penetrate them all no matter how many there are. So you get it. It says that if it's going through one, it's going through all of them. For example, if using a weapon with 0.8 meters of punch-through distance against 3 Grenier bombards, all standing shoulder to shoulder, attempting to shoot through them all at shoulder level would result in only the first bombard being hit, so it does matter if they stack on one another. While doing so at waist level will result in all 3 being hit. A punch-through value of 1.2 meters is sufficient to easily pass through most enemies in the game. Some restrictions apply. The same rule applies to objects and terrain. So that is how it should function. Now let's have a look to see how it actually functions. I have seen this question pop up many times, and it's one of the reasons that sometimes I simply hesitate to recommend punch-through because it doesn't function properly. First, we're gonna have a look at a bullet hit scan weapon. This is the Stradivar. It doesn't have any default punch-through on it. We're gonna slap some on. And we're gonna do exactly what the wiki said. Take a look at Shred. It gives you exactly 1.2 meters worth of punch-through. And we're gonna spawn in some targets and test it out like this. We're gonna spawn in Butchers, level 1, because I'm not really interested in a DPS test. I just want it to be clear if the bullet hit the target or not. So we're gonna go for a chest shot, perfectly aligned, one shot. Well, that's weird. I thought it was a yes or no check, so I basically got 2 yeses and a no. How exactly does that one function? Maybe it was a fluke. No, it's not a fluke. It did not pass through all of them, even though it should have. Once again, this is a hit scan weapon. It's not a projectile weapon. We can't really talk about the, I don't know, divergence of the projectile itself. And don't worry, we're gonna get the projectile-based weapons in a second. So once again, I hit 3. The 4th one did not get hit. It shouldn't really matter at this point if I increase my punch-through value, correct? The wiki said that it doesn't really matter. It's a simple yes or no check. So since I got 1 yes, I should have gotten all of them. But you will see that the distance does actually matter. Punch-through, Metal Auger. This time we're gonna try it with 2.1 meters worth of punch-through instead of 1.2. And once again, the exact same targets. Chest shot, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chest shot, 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch-through should function very differently than it actually does. As you can see, punch-through acts more like your bullet going through the initial target and keeps traveling for the amount of punch-through you built on the weapon. That is a more accurate description of how punch-through actually functions. And this is a hit scan weapon, but don't worry about it. Let's test it with something else. Let's try a beam weapon, for example, the Synapse. Once again, the Synapse does not have any default punch-through and it's got about 30 meters worth of range. Now let's put some punch-through on, and once again, we're gonna start off with Shred, 1.2 meters worth of punch-through. Spawn the exact same targets. Chest shot. And once again, 1, 2, 3. Chest shot. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, I didn't move my cursor just so you can see my aiming. I didn't change the trajectory of the beam. It should have hit the target and it doesn't. And rest assured, it does have plenty of range. This is the Synapse. I think it's got 30 or 35 meters worth of range. So it did hit the target, the first 3 targets with 1.2 meters worth of punch-through, and for the sake of consistency, and I know this is a bit of a hassle, let's go with Metal Auger, 2.1 meters worth of punch-through, and let's repeat the test one more time. This time I should be getting all 4 hit. Chest shot. There you go. So as I mentioned before, your beam goes through the initial target and keeps traveling for the amount of punch-through you built on the weapon. It's not really how the wiki claims it to be. And that's gonna be our beam weapon. Next, let's go to a projectile based weapon, and I think like the best example is gonna be the Lanka, very popular weapon. Yes, now this one we don't really have to build any punch through on it because it does have 5 meters worth of default punch through. No projectile drop off when it comes to the Lanka, so don't worry about it. We're gonna sit over here and we're gonna charge our shot. Let's zoom in. There you go. Fully charged, firing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it did work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy mode. And that's pretty much gonna conclude our test on punch through. This is the reason why sometimes I hesitate to recommend punch through on certain weapons, simply because it doesn't function as it's supposed to function. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you have any feedback for me, by all means, leave it in the comment section down below. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.